Good morning from the Kennedys. Excuse the hair and the attire. I'm just getting up. Slept late for a change. Doing better. My wounds are healed up. So my poultice worked. I'm feeling great for as far as that goes. Wife ended up with a new vehicle. We got rid of the Cherokee and got her a Subaru Forester, which has a lot of pros to it. The team at the Fletcher in Joplin, Fletcher Subaru, did absolutely amazing. That was the first good car buying experience I've ever had, and it just made sense because her Jeep was getting up to 80,000 miles, which I know doesn't seem a lot, but with those vehicles particularly, you know, you get close to 100,000. There's a whole lot you got to start doing, pumping money into it. But what made the most sense is we got it for a 0.9% interest rate. We added 2 years to a loan. Basically, we would have been done with it in 2.5 years, and it's like a 5-year term. And the payments are only $20 more, but we're now in a vehicle that had 0 miles or 20-something miles and more longevity than her Cherokee Trailhawk. She's loving it. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of cool features that I like. Missing some of the features of the other, but we'll see how it does in the winter. But the brightest thing of the day is my sunflowers are finally. Sunflowers are blooming out. They haven't opened up completely. Stormed all night. The mulleins blooming. Go out here and check We've harvested one big zucchini. This one should start producing any time. Bunch of flies on it. Waiting for that to take off. Some grapes, but they're not doing so hot. They're doing better now that I put this on. We put this on here. It's just some old screened decals from Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and we zip tied them on there. Found out that, you know, grapes said full sun, but they were burning up. So we put that screening up on all these arches. I need more of them. I think if I had one to go across the center from each direction, it would probably be better. Got my little solar light there, trying to deter the critters. I've got to keep an eye on my bees. They were bearding yesterday when I pulled in, but we've got all these storms, so it's not like I can get into the hive. Hey, the mint's flowering. Mint flower's cool. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. They'll start dropping and spreading everywhere. And couldn't find out this is not squash, this is not cucumber, this is some kind of, I can't even remember the name of it now. Some kind of plant. I'll probably just end up pulling them. Deer ate all but one clump of carrots, and they're starting to eat the top of those off. I had a big one over there they just took. This one's already produced the big zucchini. Some tomatoes. Another squash, but no produce yet. I'm happy with one big zucchini. We got all right. Our asparagus did take right here. Right here. Didn't take very much because we planted a whole roll all the way down through here and I wasn't seeing any. They're perennials. Asparagus, they'll keep coming back, and I want this whole box to be asparagus that comes back every year. You know, it takes a couple years for it to get established, and once it does, we could come out here and collect some. Now, I'm not sure if this is watermelon or cantaloupe, but it's growing really well. Hopefully it'll start producing. I'm gonna have to trim this tomato bush up. Man, that is one bushy tomato plant. Wow. It's covering my peppers, my bell peppers, which are starting to produce. There's the rosemary. These are weeds. I need to get out here and get my weeds pulled. And this stuff grows everywhere. My rosemary is blending in with all the weeds. Here's some more peppers. These are yellow bell peppers. We've been collecting tomatoes for a while now. Basil, it's going to seed. I need to collect seed from it. Got plenty of cherry tomatoes we need to pick. And my mint is taking over everything. It's hard to find anything. They're all mint. You're gonna kill my jalapenos. Jalapenos. I gotta clean some of this mint up from around it. Something's got over here laid in that mint. About to have to start harvesting some onions. I need to check on my garlic. Potatoes should be getting close because one of these was flowered. When they flowered, indicates it's growing under the ground. I'm thinking that's another one of these weird plants that fooled me, making it think it was something else. More onions. And cucumbers galore in this one. It's growing so thick it's hard to find the cucumbers, which is not good because once it starts growing cucumbers, them cucumbers drop and fall off, the plant will start dying, saying, hey, I achieved my goal in life. I dropped my seed and now I'm going to go on, and it'll just quit producing and die. And it's so thick, it's hard to find any cucumbers. I know there's got to be some starting to form in here somewhere. Maybe. It's all plant. Wow. So thick. But yeah. That boy doing his chores. Such a good kid. He just turned 16. Yeah, the mulleин's really cool. And this is what I was talking about turning into torches. You cut that off, dip it in beeswax. Like sunflowers. The bees like the sunflowers. And deer keep pushing my log pile over, wood pile. The bee balm is different colors. This one over here is more of a purplish reddish. But, you know, the bees love it. So. Alright. They were bearded yesterday evening when I pulled in. The day's just getting started. Probably more rain. Kind of hard to split a hive when it keeps raining. But they were like all over the outside of that on the bottom. So I've got to keep an eye on that. Make sure they don't swarm if they haven't already. I think they just haven't come out with the rains and storms we had last night. But I'll keep you posted on the bees. If they do swarm, I've already got the hive set up for them. All I'll have to do is cut whatever limb they land on, if it's low enough for me to reach, and drop them down in this hive. I've already got it ready to go. This is a different kind of hive. We're switching over to it if we can. The bad thing about this is it's hard to switch from those to these. The size of the swarm is important, and I'll explain. Give me a hand, son. Open. No, put your finger and open that latch right there. Pull it towards you. Here, hold this one up. Hold this one up. Okay. These are deeper than the other hives. Than one of the boxes anyways. And I've got this in here. It's just insulated foam board to separate. Notice that there's a space at the bottom. That's so the bees can still go across. If the swarm is too large, which they won't be too large for this box, but a regular swarm trap, they can be too big for it. I've had some really massive swarms come out of this yard. And I don't want to try to put them in a box that's too small for them, or they'll just leave it, or a box that's too big for them. If I was just to fill this all the way with frames, you get them in there, and they'd be like, no, this is too big of an area. We can't secure it. We can't defend it. And they'll just leave again. So what I've done is I've reduced it to so many frames. My Bill's been in and out of there so much it's losing its tightness. I may have to wrap a little more tape or just switch it. There we go. That's tighter. Got to have room at the bottom. This way they can use this cavity and work the frames. If they're small enough, they could just stay over in the frames. So doing it this way, I feel, will increase the odds of them staying in the box because there's open space and space that they can consolidate themselves into. If it's a larger swarm or as they grow, I can take this out, add more frames, and move this over. Eventually just taking it out. And when it's completely full, I'll be able to make a split. And the reason I like these hives better and they're easier, let me show you. You get a mixture of the plastic comb, and then they will draw a comb to fill in the gap. So you get both natural and plastic comb. Now I took the plastic off of the other size frames, and what I did, wax moth, not good. What I did was cut them and then used a drill and drilled holes in the side and bobby pins, and bobby pinned the frame of the plastic frame of the old hive comb onto it. And that again leaves, gotta pull that off there, empty spot at the bottom that they can draw their own comb. That way I get a mixture of drawn comb naturally, and then makes it easier having some plastic comb. And I could just cut the bottom sections out. So I tried to use some of the old frames that still had wax, and the reason being is because there's a chance that when they swarm, they just swarm straight to this hive. They can smell that this smells like beehive. They're like, hey, this smells like home. And in fact, it was frames that were harvested of honey from themselves. So it literally smells like home to them. And then I need to redose it because I don't put too much at one time. But I rub a little lemongrass down here. And it's got 2 entrances for them. If it gets to where it's busy summer, there's a lot of flow going on, I can open the second entrance to where it's easier for them to get in and out instead of using a spacer. But to start out, you just want one entrance. It's easier for them to defend. Of course, we did our own personal little artwork. The bees in the poo. The bees in the poo. Spider web. But yeah, I figured I'd share that. I'm out here check things out. I got to keep an eye on this today. Once it starts raining, I won't be too concerned. But when they start bearding like that, there's a more than likely chance that they're going to start swarming. They still get some water over here. See if the sunflowers over here are blooming yet. Excuse me. Yeah, they're starting to. They haven't opened up, but they are blooming out. There's a little one. It's important to have this stuff for the bees. Got to get out here and pick some blackberries too. Why haven't you picked these blackberries, boy? Look at these. They're ready to harvest, man. We need to get out here and we need to just gather us up a bunch of blackberries. Good stuff, man. I need to pull some of this out to where we can get to it. They're all over the property. I saw some coming up the driveway yesterday. Happy birthday. A couple days late, but happy birthday. You don't look too happy. The mint over there that's flowered used to be over here. And it now grows all over right here. I like mint to be around because certain insects and predators don't like it. Any signs of those raccoons getting in again?
Yeah.
They got in?
Nope.
No, they did not get in, but they tried.
Yeah. They've been that chicken wire. I think that making it where it's hard for them to get in because they're just bending that.
Well, that's okay. We're gonna take it a step further today. We're gonna come to the inside, and we're gonna put more barbed wire stuff. They tore the wiring up right here. We need to fix that perch, and you can see the fur. I placed more wire over it, and I used these little ring staplers and wired it to the other wire, and then I wired barbed wire to it, which they've opened the barbed wire up towards us some to where they can't get in there, because they got in there and killed a guinea last week. And I mean, this wood needs replaced. It's starting to rot. We need to build a run inside the run and tear this old run off. But I'm going to go on the inside, and I'm going to run more barbed wire and wire on the inside, so that if and when they do get in there, they'll get stuck. They won't get back out. It'll be their last time getting in. Because not only did they kill a guinea, but they went in there and tried tearing up the trash can. I don't mind them eating the food, but I mind them eating the birds, and I mind the way they tried to tear it up. They're jerks about it. Look at that. Honeysuckles taking over that archway, which I don't want to rebuild that because I have a feeling that tree's going to go next.
I thought this tree doesn't line up the blue tree.
I'm getting my hands stained purple. Let's give these berries to these chicks. There's all the new chicks. Here you go, chicks. Fight over some blackberries. Wife's birds. So far this morning, we've talked about birthdays, sunflowers, our garden, and of course, the birds and the bees. Pun intended. Hope you have a good day.